5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, hold on for a second. Yes! Ah.
Got there at the right. I got there at the right.
Yeah. Yeah, I know you did. I was in there. Anyways.
The fuck?
Anyways. Sorry about that. Hello, everyone, and welcome to a brand new segment, Real Talk with Phoenix Core. And with me today is... Let's see. With me today is Slipcase and Blackwing. Go ahead and introduce yourself, guys.
What's up? I'm at the asylum.
That's Blackwing, peoples.
Okay, why can I not hear music?
Well, that's because it just started, and there's going to be a little bit of a delay. Oh, if you can't hear any music, it's because I turned off the music for in-game.
I made her Easter egg. I made it piggy.
I mean, I kind of had to because I did that for situational awareness on my matches.
I hear banjos.
Anyways. So, let's go ahead and get started. And honestly, let's just go ahead and get the heavy out the way because we all know this is coming. Everybody hears about this kind of crap on the news. Everybody has at least seen this several times on YouTube. So let's not mince words and let's get right down to it. That being said, Blackwing, Slip, what do you guys think about like how everything's going on in the U.S. with the COVID situation right now?
Everyone's an idiot.
Care to elaborate on that? Because
Josh,
I mean, that's a little bit of a general thought.
Well, yeah, I can hear you, but
I can't hear Lamar.
What do you mean you can't hear me?
We can hear you. You probably have an ad issue.
Do you mean in the party or in the
Christ
stream?
on crunch.
Anyway,
I'll fix it. BRB.
Anyway,
wow, we seem to have some technical problems right off the bat.
Well, anyway, I'll elaborate. This is why people are on my nerves. Look. Okay, yes, this COVID thing could be stopped. This COVID thing could be stopped right then and there. But my point is, my point pisses me off with people when it's a pandemic is when you go to the store and they swipe fucking everything that's not important and they swipe shit that other people fucking need. You don't need that 30th bottle of fucking Lysol.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, because I noticed a lot of stuff is being sold out in stores. Definitely.
And here's the thing. You walk into like other fucking... What was it? I worked at a freaking restaurant, and the thing is, they walk in there... Here's something stupid. When people walk in and they see a sign that says, wear a mask inside, it's policy. Do you know what they do?
They don't wear a mask.
They lift up the shirt and says, "Is this acceptable? Is this acceptable?" No, it's not acceptable, you stupid sack of shit. Go outside and get yourself a mask. Or a bandana, you dumb son of a bitch.
Yeah. If only it was that simple with a lot of people. Apparently it's like the typical situation. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. Which is kind of funny considering I heard recently there was supposed to be some new sort of laws in effect that if you didn't do that, you was going to get yourself fined.
Well...
And I kind of figured, what, with the job situation right now, people would actually, heed that warning.
Well, here's the thing. And there's another rumor supposed to go on around. I informed both of you that we're supposed to get a second stimulus checks coming around.
Yeah,
That
that's true.
it could be happening next month or whenever, but
and that's
it's good.
Yeah, that's definitely true.
If that happens, oh boy, look out stores, everything's gonna be cleaned out again.
Which I mean, it's already bad enough because I mean, and some of that some and something else that definitely doesn't help is all these storms that we've been having recently. That definitely doesn't help because then people go into storm preparation mode. If that makes any sense.
You gotta deal with hurricanes. I gotta deal with holy crap!
So tornadoes are earthquakes. But no, for the most part, personally, my thoughts on the COVID situation is honestly, it's weird. That one scene from Rush Hour 2, I honestly thought that was just a joke that people didn't do that about the whole live handling of livestock and just, whacking off their necks and then just selling it in public bazaars. I used to think that was just, I honestly thought that was just, stuff from the movie, like comedic moments. But no, I'm starting to think that something like that is probably the reason why it led up to the COVID situation.
Okay.
And that's the thing. I mean,
There we
honestly,
go. I can hear you.
okay, so Slipcase has pretty much rejoined us. Like, that problem over. But anyways, continuing on. So for the most part, yeah, it's just that one scene from Rush Hour I really thought was just weird because I didn't even think that stuff like that existed. The whole whacking off of duck necks, selling that in public. That's just, at the risk of sounding like a kid, that's just gross. Why would you do that, people?
What? Slaughtering their own livestock?
No. See, that's the thing. I know that's a norm for how we usually get our food, but that's the thing. There's usually procedures and precautions people do for that sort of thing. Like, people wash their hands, they do it in controlled environments, not out in public where germs are about. That's just stupid. And not to mention something else that certainly doesn't help the whole thing about the COVID situation is the fact that it's that time of year again, people. The presidential elections, which means mudslinging right out the butt. Lots and lots of mudslinging. And the thing, and I would have to say probably the nail in the coffin at this point, definitely didn't help about with the whole Black Lives Matter and George Floyd situation. All I want to say is this, on that matter. There's both good and bad people in this world, and honestly, you can't blame all police just for something a couple of dumbasses did.
Well, as me and Jared put it, basically there's a few good cops that want to protect and serve, and there's a few idiots that were bullied enough where they just said, look, we're just going to be a 10-penny cop with a badge and a gun.
Yeah, I'm just want to say on that note, you know what? If you guys are like that because you got bullied, I don't know. I mean, some people often say, you have to try some weird things to fix some type of illnesses. Maybe you ought to give those people a wedgie just to remind them, no, you can't do that shit.
In all honesty, the only thing that's really gonna fix
Is being
the only thing that's gonna solve the problem is you gotta stop it at the root.
the only problem about that, though.
Jared, would you elaborate with that?
Yeah, I'll elaborate. Okay, you're saying that cops like this started off as kids that got severely bullied in school. Well, since the education system in this country is a fucking joke anyway, what needs to happen is you need to start from scratch. You've got to tear it all down, redo it, and instead of this zero tolerance bullshit, that actually shields the bully and praises him instead of and punishes the kid that's getting the shit kicked out of him. You see, there needs to be accountability here in the education system. The education system, first of all, doesn't care about merit, cares about test scores, which can be easily inflated anyway. Anyway, long story short, teachers need to are not responsible for your, how to put this, your teachers are not your parents. If the parents if the parents are not willing to teach their kids right from wrong, or to even interact with their children in general, then they don't need to have their children in the first place. Their children need to be with foster parents.
My
Point
thoughts
blank.
exactly.
As my mother
Now-
would put, as my mother, excuse me for a second, as my mother put it, when she was taking me to school and I got in trouble most of the time with teachers, they said this. She said that the teachers are not your babysitters; they're tools for you to learn.
Mm-hmm.
And as far as the whole
And even
sorry, go
and
ahead.
even then, another thing I should be saying is we don't need larger classrooms. We need smaller classrooms because one person cannot teach 30 kids or 20 kids in a classroom.
It needs to be
Effectively.
15
No,
class
it
max.
needs to be less than that. It needs to be less than that. It needs to be 10 people per classroom. And the classrooms don't need to be the size of a basketball court. And I'm telling you this from experience. I've how do I put this? I was one of those kids where I can't deal with large crowds. I hate being in classes with large groups of people because I can feel it feels like everybody's eyes are on me and staring at me constantly.
And that's not a good feeling.
It's not, and that's just in general whenever I'm out in public.
Yeah,
Now-
because there's certain people that are just basically, you don't know if that, this is just my, this is just sometimes a little bit paranoid for me. I don't know if there's some bitch right behind me is going to stab me or something.
True, but that's a different topic for a different day. But back
Yeah.
to the thing. Another thing about the education system is that it doesn't focus on engaging the students and actually teaching them the important lessons. You don't need to teach them about. You can literally read from a textbook, but you can't teach the Civil War to a bunch of 13-year-olds.
That will just turn around and just use it as a fucking joke.
Well, teenagers are assholes anyway.
I mean, literally. Remember the incident a few years ago where someone decided to blow up a church or shut up a church while he was wearing the Confederate flag or something like that?
Well, I can give you an example. I learned more from crazy teachers than, the teachers that were out there and that really didn't give a shit about the standardized tests and were trying to teach you life lessons. And we're trying to teach you how this is going to help you in life. Now, I had a teacher that has all kinds of crazy shit in his classroom. I believe he's running for tribal council, or tribal council leader, I believe, currently. Anyway, he had a fish tank in his classroom. He had an actual FBI wanted poster from the 1980s or 70s, I can't remember which. He also had a giant Coca-Cola. You know those things you see in the lunchroom that are supposed to hold food or cold drinks and whatnot. He was using that as a desk.
That
Hmm.
damn thing?
Yeah,
Wow.
and he had a pink door that went to nowhere. Literally, it had a door frame, and you opened it up, and it went straight to the concrete wall.
Damn.
He had a giant Coca-Cola cap on one end of the room, and on the other side was a Pepsi cap. He also had display cases full of Native American artifacts and whatnot. And generally, he was one of the kookiest people you could ever see or meet. His family actually used to know Pretty Boy Floyd, which was a mobster here in the Oklahoma area.
Wait, you
And
mean that Pretty Boy Floyd?
yeah, that one. His family
Oh
has a
boy.
barn full of bullet holes that he used to hang out in.
Hmm.
He also, this teacher also soaked his classroom door, the hinges. He soaked the hinges in salt water, and in between classes, he would squeak the door for two reasons. One, to piss off the this.
Maintenance man.
There was a English teacher right across the hall that was a royal bitch to everyone and literally cussed out all of her students in the classroom and called them little shits and you know
Oh, I
and
had one of those teachers, but instead of well, she had this. I'm gonna hate to interrupt you, Jared. I had a teacher like that, except she had her own little attack dog for kids that she would
mm-hmm.
fawn over. And basically, what she did is, okay, I was this was in gym class, just mind my business, and they came around and had thumbtacks between their fingers, and they go, "Hey, what's up, Josh?" And blah, Black Wayne, blah blah blah, and just go pat 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 with the back of the shirt. I used to wear white t-shirts all the time with bands or anime pictures and all that stuff on it. Uh, then my mother one night she saw what was happening and she said, "Josh, what happened to your shirt?" I was like, "What's on it?" And she said, "Look, I'm going to the vice principal first thing in the morning, and I'm going to find out what the hell's going on." The teacher in question that was in charge of that class, she got called to the office, and I caught before the day before she got called in. I mean, the day an hour before she got called in, I saw her tossing the thumbtacks in the trash.
She was what? I'm sorry, I couldn't understand you.
Okay, the hour before she was called into the vice principal's office, she was throwing the thumbtacks into the trash.
Thumbtacks.
You know, like the push pins, thumbtacks,
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah, yeah.
She threw them in the
So
trash
so what? The kids that were talking to you were poking holes in your shirt?
with basically drawing blood.
Oh, they were stabbing you in the back basically with
Yeah,
thumbtacks.
yeah, and basically she said, "There's nothing going on with it." And I said, "You're a damn liar. You're throwing those thumbtacks away." And let's just say this: the vice principal said, "Josh, with me, I will have a word with you after they leave." So that basically the gym coach threatened to call the police on us, all that other shit. I'm not bullshitting. She was a fucking bitch. But after the principal found the thumbtacks covered in blood, you can imagine how angry she was.
Oh, yeah, I can imagine because if I found out my kid was getting stabbed in the back, quite literally, and coming home covered in blood, not
And
only but then again, I'm not as restrained as your mother is. I would have marched down there and asked who did this to my kid, and I'd be holding the bloody shirt in my hand.
And here's something else my mother almost threatened because since my grandfather, one of my grandfathers worked in the sheriff's department, she said, "Look, do you want the sheriff's department to come down hard and have an investigation on this entire school? And I will have my son being escorted to each class by a deputy." You can imagine the look. You can imagine the look of horror on their faces.
Oh yeah, because I mean seriously, if word got out that a teacher was having students stab other students, that alone, I mean that that alone is almost as bad as what happened in one of my middle schools. We
Please do
had
tell the story.
basically this was in 8th grade, and this is back when I was still living in Florida. And for all the viewers here, yes, I was born and raised in Florida. Moved to Oklahoma around 10, 11 years ago. Anyway, long story short, we had I was only there for 1 year, for 8th grade specifically. And I found this out secondhand. I've never met these two kids. There were two bullies in this school. One of men, or two of several, apparently. You're probably not gonna believe me, but you got to remember, kids, this is Florida. Weird shit happens on the daily, and Okaloosa County is known for weird shit on a daily basis. I mean, we're not bath salts, homeless people eating your face off weird, but yeah, we're out there. Anyway, from what I was told, there was this fat kid that was an asshole and liked to beat the crap out of other kids, and there was this midget kid. He wasn't actually a dwarfism kid, he was just really, really short. I'm just calling him a midget because that's what I remember him as. Anyway, these two got into a fight, let's say for example on a Monday. Tuesday, the next day, you know, those kids, or the fat kid finds out the midget kid's locker is on a separate hallway from where his lockers are, because there were 3 main hallways, technically 4 if you count the gym that had lockers. Anyway, let's say fat kid had a locker at the end of the school, and the midget kid had a locker in the center hallway. I don't remember. This was 8th grade. Anyway, fat kid sneaks up behind the midget kid, grabs him by the back of his head, and slams his head repeatedly into the metal corner. This kid's locker was the last locker on a row of lockers. So you could see through the side of his locker where the perforated holes were, see inside. Well, this metal corner here, even though it was round, bang, 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 kid didn't stop. And apparently, this is from what I was told by actual classmates of mine and friends that had lockers on this hallway. Anyway, from what I remember, blood was everywhere. and the midget kid got taken to the hospital on a stretcher. And I think they said his skull was cracked open. And the fat kid went to juvie and was eventually sent to prison for attempted murder.
Damn.
As to what started the fight, I have no idea. I do remember the look of horror on the janitor's face. And I know that hallway stunk of bleach for a few weeks. Because I had to walk past that hallway.
Not that these stories isn't good and all, but I feel like we kind of veered a bit off course of the topic.
Yes, you're
Well,
right.
We have, but we just, it's basically part of what the education system is so goddamn broken beyond repair.
The education system needs to get off this standardized testing bullshit and needs to go back to a merit system. Basically, depending on how much effort you put in to your studies is what determines your grade and your grade point average. Something like that, as well as, how do I put this? They need to treat the education system with more seriously, because there are tons and tons of kids that are not getting taught what they need to be taught, which are basic life skills. Their heads are being filled to the brim with unnecessary bullshit, in my opinion. Look, partial history is cool, but if you really want to pursue a degree and all that, save that shit for college. If you're passionate about learning about history and all that, that's cool. Make that an elective class. If you're passionate about literature, that's a core class anyway, and there are writing classes you can take. And that'll help you, but what needs to be taught are the basic skills about, accounting, arithmetic, scheduling.
Home ec, basically.
Definitely home ec and shop class on just how to do simple basic maintenance to anything in your house.
Because, let me put this. Do you want to hear how my home ec class was? It was pitiful. Okay, because I thought, hey...
Lucky you.
Well, the home ec class I signed up for was more or less of, hey, balance a checkbook and look at this crap. Instead of teaching you how to fucking cook.
Oh, the freaking home ec classes from my school were basically run by a fat elderly, or I shouldn't say elderly, she wasn't that old, just a fat, just a really overweight woman in her 50s that had too much time on her hands and considered herself the fashion police. If you weren't dressed in super conservative manners, like if you weren't dressed like the chick from Little House on the Prairie, you were getting written up and sent to the fucking principal's office on a daily.
Damn.
And there were 3 teachers like that. I was the kid from Florida that wore flip-flops in the winter.
Damn.
And one of my flip-flops broke. And at the end of the day, and I went to the office to go get it stapled. It lasted 5 seconds. And as I was walking back, barefooted, bitch stops me. And she goes, go back to the principal's office and get that stapled. I showed her the flip-flop. Keep in mind, I wear a size 14. It's not difficult to see a giant metal staple going through a size 14 flip-flop. Anyway, back to the all seriousness part about the education system. There really, really, really should be more focus on students learning life skills and being taught common knowledge rather than unnecessary knowledge that not only is a waste of time, energy, and money, you're literally you're wasting the school's time, you're wasting the students' time, you're wasting the teacher's time. When you're not, especially when you're trying to force a teacher that has a degree in math to teach history or to teach English. Not only are you not using this person to their full potential, and also there's no such thing as school counselors. You know what that is?
What?
Real talk. A counselor is supposed to be there to talk to you and to help you with your issues. Not sit at their fucking desk and play Tetris and be on Instagram and Snapchat and basically throw all their fucking shit. How do I put this? When your school counselor does less work than the janitor, you know that something's wrong. There should not be one school counselor. There should be, how to put this, like every classroom should have, how to put this, there should be enough counselors for every classroom. Just like there should be a school psychologist, psychiatrist, more school nurses, because there are students with actual problems, because these students are not every student is coming from a good home life, and that's where a lot of problems, come from. When, how do I put this? When you treat your students like numbers instead of actual people,
Yeah.
like, children are not dolls. Students are not dolls. They are not inanimate objects. They are people that are, quite frankly, growing, and puberty is a hell of a thing. Okay, you've got hormones racing and your body is changing and you're freaking the fuck out. Not to mention, you're trying to... Everybody's so self-conscious about how they look in front of their friends and how they're perceived, and there's so much external pressure put on them from both the parents and the teachers, as well as their friends, on how to act and how to behave. That shit needs to... that means that students are not getting the proper counseling. Really, there should be a time, there should be a whole, there should be a whole, how do I put this, chunk of time dedicated to talking to these students and addressing their concerns, and pretty much like sex ed, basically, where it's explaining that, hey, your body's changing, your hormones are racing through you. And another thing that is really, really horrible is that the underage pregnancies and whatnot. Okay, my graduating class, I graduated in 2013. Half of the female student body was pregnant. Half were pregnant. The other half had already had one or more kids. There was a chick that apparently one of my classmates was engaged to that had 9.
Damn.
Yeah.
Talk about harem.
And not the good one either.
Mm-hmm. Well, all 9 of them are from different guys. So, another thing that this whole thing, it's more of a cultural issue, but it does need to be talked about, is that students, going through their teens are horny. Okay, freaking, they're gonna have sex, but at least teach them about safe sex, because that's not being taught at schools ever. And it's mostly because of, I want to say 3 things. One is the community around the school. When your community is so, I'm just going to go out and say it, I'm not going to beat around the bush here. When your religious bullshit is causing more and more kids to get pregnant before they turn 12, because you're denying them an education, because there are girls that are growing up to be 25 fucking years old that don't even know what a menstrual cycle is.
That's interesting.
And it's because of these bipolar fucktards that get into city council or are very influential, and it's just large groups of people. When you get idiots in a large group of people, when you get a bunch of idiots into a large group and they become the symbol of authority in your community, their word becomes law. And that's, when they start enforcing they start pressuring everyone else to follow their lead or be ostracized. And looked down upon and treated as such, that happens all over the country. That happens all over the world. That is not a unique thing to the US. That is a human thing, and quite frankly, it's disgusting. That's why I'm not religious. I personally despise religion and think it should be abolished permanently because it's outlived its usefulness. Anyway, that's a whole mess of shit that does not need to be talked about. What needs to be talked about is religion and politics being shoehorned into the education system. That is the main thing that's those are 2 important things that's also contributing to the teen pregnancy thing.
How so?
Because when you're... Okay. It's no secret that there are tons and tons of conservative people that don't like to talk about sex, that are full-blown Puritan, that believe talking about anything in general that isn't the Word of God should be considered sinful. But when you're trying to teach people that have no idea what the hell's going on with their own bodies, you expect them to magically know, why they want to fucking put their dick in this chick that looks attractive to them? You want to know what? Like, seriously, you expect people to know everything right from the get-go? That's not how this works, sweetheart. That's not how life.
And before anybody decides to put something in the comments, I did give a fair warning earlier about how this is just going to be straight up real talk. So, just
And
putting that
I am
out
a
there.
very blunt. I'm a very blunt person, to be honest.
Semi-blood, just, if you want to, piss me off, see what happens.
But yes, that is not how life works. We are not computer programs. We do not. When a person is born, and everybody knows this, you don't know shit. The only thing you know is food and poop. That's it. That's all you know. Oh, when you're born. You know when you're hungry, and you know when you need to poop. That's it. As you get older, everyone around you starts teaching you things, and that's how you learn. Or you learn, or you do the whole monkey see, monkey do thing. That's how people learn as well. Well, eventually when you reach a certain age, people want to try and take advantage of you and manipulate you into their way of thinking. And that's exactly what religion is. Same thing with politics. It's the same scam, just a different means to an end. Religion wants your mind, body, and money. Politicians want the same thing, but for different reasons.
They just want that vote so they can stay in power long enough.
Exactly. So they can drain your bank account and fill theirs. The church wants all of your money, all of your time, and all of your effort devoted to them, while they lie to your face about this is the word of God. Now, I'm not saying the Bible's full of shit. I'm saying that with every work of fiction, there's a nugget of truth. There are lessons in the Bible that can be taught to people. There are life lessons in it, but let's bypass that for a second. The Bible can be used as a teaching tool, is what I'm saying, but only to a certain extent. Once you get too devoted to it or read too much into it, it's just cuckoo, cuckoo, cuckoo. All right, back to politics.
Well,
Excuse me.
I mean, I did say that was one part of it, but also again, kind of thought we were talking about the COVID situation also.
Well,
The COVID situation is going to involve the politics. The COVID situation is just straight up a virus pandemic type thing that's sort of airborne and can stay on. It could have been stopped, but at the same time, dude, I mean, seriously, it happened. It's a thing. We cannot change the past. We cannot rewind time like it's on, like it's a fucking clock. But let's just move it on. Now,
okay.
COVID, some people think that it's a hoax, and what they need to do is they need to go to their local newspaper and read the obituaries and have a long, hard look at how many people are dropping dead because of it.
It's because of weak immune systems, or either long-standing medical problems.
COVID just helps speed up the process of those people with weakened immune systems dying. Now, that's what it's doing. It's just thinning the herd of all the people that have weakened immune systems and other severe health problems.
Let me explain. Bubonic plague during the Middle Ages. Then you have
Or the Spanish flu.
The influenza after the Great War.
Anyway, this is nothing new. Plagues happen you know, every so often. Disease happens. It's a thing. Get over it. What do? We move on.
We move
We
on, stop the spread of the virus.
eventually, lots of people die in the beginning, and then we figure out a way to cure it. Literally,
Figure out to
Black
kill it,
Plague,
cure it.
influenza, bubonic plague, or I mean, sorry, SARS, shit like that. Anyway, moving on. Now that we've got this COVID shit out of the way, no, I'm sorry to burst your bubble, little Timmy. It's not a conspiracy theory. I really, really wish it was, but it's not.
And let's
But
just
but yes, back to politics. Um, I'm just gonna keep this short and sweet. It's the same game that religion wants. They want your money so they can stay in a seat of authority, or so they have power over you and make you do shit you don't want to do that benefits them. It's the same thing, just with a different, you know, same shit, different paint job. New paint, new shrubs. They
And
want
the
another Ferrari to crash.
and the fact is, I mean, other people might be disturbed about certain types of opinions, but the only thing is, I figure sometimes this things need to be said. I mean, it's like if people are so accepting of different viewpoints, then they should show it. They shouldn't be hypocrites.
Well,
talk to the Nazis.
in all honesty, hypocrisy is kind of a thing, and we're all hypocrites to an extent, and it really does depend on what we all have points, or we all have
Points of
spots,
views.
yes, where we are hypocritical.
They, case in point, look, it's the look. Let me put up a few good views that started out as good and intentional, but turn around and use it as a weapon.
Well, I mean, the Bible says it. The road to hell is paved with good intentions.
True, but
Yeah.
also then you got to realize that then vengeance is a dish best served cold.
Oh yes, vengeance is a dish best served cold. But to be honest, vengeance is a very fleeting happiness. In fact, that burning hatred you have in your heart,
Once you get it, it's nothing.
yeah, once you accomplish your goal, you know what you get instead of happiness? Ash.
Let me
Yeah.
put a point in case of a certain character fiction, and a couple years ago it used to be popular, Naruto, Sasuke. He was told time and time again by his mentor Kakashi, "Don't go down this road. Don't go down this road." And you know what he did at the end?
He he went
He
down the
didn't
road.
listen.
He went down
He
the
came
road,
barely-
and eventually he did manage to find. Eventually, he did manage to find his peace, but not without like causing a bunch of damage along the way.
He can't even look at his wife.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like, I joked about this at one time, but basically at that point I was like, wow. So at that point he's nothing more than just straight up Vegeta at that point.
Mm-hmm. Let's see.
Let's see, then we also got... Oh, then we also... Here's another thing that's going to be popped up. It's going to get popped up pretty soon. We also got the reveal of the heavy hitters of what PlayStation and Sony's going to have heavy hitters for the worst games.
Which is what Halo and
Halo, and Sony's also going to hit the hell is going to release the next Spider-Man game, which is
The
the
what?
heavy hitter. Spider-Man Miles Morales.
Oh, okay, that one. Okay. That's gonna be interesting.
Well, with Halo, it's basically look what 343 said is if you're looking for another Halo 6 or a Halo Infinite, you're going to be stuck with Infinite for a while because that way they can keep updating the look. We've never
Isn't
explored the
Halo?
entire.
Yeah, we've never explored an entire Halo ring, and that's what Halo Infinite is. It's gonna be us traveling around an entire fucking Halo ring.
Well, taking out groups of the new, which a new faction called the Banished. But since I played Halo Wars 2, the Banished, the Banished are a bunch of Covenant brutes that fell out of favor of the Prophets, but they also gained strength of a bunch of elites that actually thought the same way.
Mm-hmm.
But since they're not that stupid when it comes to fighting humans like us, they figured that, look, we need to be more strategical, a little bit more tactile, and more more methodical with our attacks.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Also, welcome to the stream, Ace Vengeance.
So
Penis.
so what we're gonna have to think is, okay, and also this is kind of surprising. Xbox is doing away with their live gold subscriptions.
Yeah. That was a little surprising. Also coming, like that came as a surprise to me also. But it's the typical.
But
It's the typical. They probably have a money-related reason for wanting to do so.
actually, they're gonna do this. So instead of doing their gold package, they're gonna bundle it up with their subscription service, which is their entire archive.
That'll be interesting.
So basically, like they're okay. You know the new service that comes that's similar to PlayStation View, but just 10 times better.
Hmm.
So basically, if you can't afford Gears of War that day or Halo Infinite that day, since your paycheck's a little bit, you'll have to go to Mr. Bill. Since it's on Game Pass, you have automatically access to that game, and all you have to do is pay like $20 a month for that subscription. Meanwhile, PlayStation is afraid to open the floodgates. Look how many great games would have been on there. Name a few of your favorites that you will love to play on the console next gen, but you still have the discs.
And speaking about opening the floodgates, now that we've officially went into our Nerd Talk situation, recently, Gundam fans, I can definitely say, in the US have definitely rejoiced with the release of Maxi Boost on. Because it was essentially the verses everybody wanted. We got our fan favorites back, and on top of that, we even got some newcomers to the picture as well.
Well, here's the thing as well. Um, Due to being last year being Gundam Wing, or this year's Gundam Wing's anniversary, this is just my speculation. We're gonna be seeing the Snow White Gundam inside verses.
Sounds fair.
Because look, we haven't got a Gundam Wing Frozen Teardrop at OVA to finish off the story. Yes, originally Frozen Teardrop started as a radio drama, but never brought into an anime form. There has been pictures, there's been art promotions, and we've never seen what's underneath those cloaks of those the suits until now. But this is just a thing. We don't know what's going to go on. I'm hope me and Jared and me, Slipcase, and Phoenix here are hoping for a fourth Gunner Breaker.
But my personal thing
I
on that
haven't.
one, I'm not going to hold my breath considering their stance on releasing Gundam games to the West, which honestly I still consider Maxi Busan to be something of a miracle that they did.
Well, the thing is, music. Look, and to some people's eyes, it's more of Naruto and Dragon Ball Z than, ooh, look, giant robot. Oh yeah, look, a guy can punch a hole through the solid titanium with some stupid technique that takes off his aura.
Yeah, I'm not going to mince words here. Personally, at this point, I think Naruto and Dragon Ball by extension are a little overrated. It might have been good
Eh.
back in it might have been good back in the days of, but now it's just a trend.
Okay, Jared, what kind of topic did you want to talk about since we're on our nerd thing?
Mm. Let's see now.
There's
Kind of just.
well, didn't you were going on a rant about the freedom statue a couple days ago?
Oh, I wasn't really ranting. I was just pissed that since the Freedom is my favorite Gundam ever made, you can fight me on that. I don't care. Uh,
Hey, Blackwing, can you invite Ace to the party? He says he's bored.
If he's gonna be bored and raising hell, I don't want to hear him.
like straight up, I'm not in the mood to hear somebody screaming and yelling like a fucking 10-year-old that just shit their pants on the fucking playground.
Well, he's not going to do that. I already had to get on him last night about that. So,
Dude, the last time he did that, I had to freaking. Dude, he nearly busted my eardrum.
just invite him, and the minute that he does,
I
just
did.
boot him. Well, just do the same thing again. Like,
I'll
I
be
don't know.
right back. I need a glass of
I
ice.
mean, the thing of it is, granted, yesterday the only reason he
Actually,
raised
no,
so
I need
much hell is because he was a little sick of his parents always telling him, "Look, you need to find a job so you can support us." That's the thing. We get jobs to support ourselves, not everybody. Because I
There's
mean,
my glass. I need ice.
there you go.
Or if I saw you got fucked by those free suits.
Yeah, Ace, I just want to say this. You only get one
I
warning and
said,
one warning
I
only.
said in the chat that I wasn't gonna yell. I'm not even playing
Well,
Gundam.
well, be that as it may, we're also doing a real talk session, so if you have anything to contribute, if you have anything to contribute to it, I honestly we
Well,
welcome it.
to basically go to where Jared was saying about the freedom guns, the China's getting the freedom Gundam. Um, I saw some guy try to start up a change where we're supposed to get the Gundam Master here in the States as a statue.
Oh wait, I almost
Yeah,
forgot.
yeah,
Wait,
I've seen that.
wait, I almost forgot. Ace, do you have your party audio set to share?
Let me go. It should be. I live stream sometimes on here, so it should be set to share.
Oh, anyway.
Okay.
But my
Let me see where those settings are.
but my personally,
Yeah.
honestly, even
Also,
Jared said this. We should probably either get Wing Gundam over here, or either we should get Heavy Arms
Probably
instead.
Wing, since Wing was the most was what popularized Gundam in the West.
pretty
Yeah,
much. Pretty much.
but it just but the thing is, I think we should avoid the endless waltz because
There we go. All right, my audio should be being shared now. Sorry about that.
I
Okay.
think we should avoid using endless waltz because some people will get offended.
Probably.
What? Just because Wing Zero Custom has angelic-looking wings? Honestly, I'm just gonna say at that point, those people can go fuck themselves.
Lamar, let Ace talk. He wanted to go at the reason why.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Ace?
I mean, I can understand why, because there's a lot of Christian people that are going to be out there saying like, "Oh, that's putting angelic wings on a weapon of war is an affront to God" or something like that. Trust me, I've met a lot of those kind of people.
But also, you do realize during the original run of Tsunami, is when Death Scythe got upgraded to the Hell variant.
That
They
too.
yeah, they renamed it to Death Scythe H. Also with Burning Gundam now, but in the original audio or the original script, it's called God Gundam, and the Dark Gundam was called the Devil Gundam.
Yeah,
They were both changed to basically make sure nobody was getting mad in hell.
yeah.
Yeah.
Although
Well,
oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was just saying, quick sentence. Apparently, for the Death Scythe change, apparently at one point they gave an excuse saying they changed it just to shorten the name for text situations.
Well,
Yes,
that
but
also does make sense, but mainly,
it does make sense. But originally, that's the reason. Originally, it was changed to. But when
Yeah.
to but when Toki Hajime got a hold of the original 5 wingsuits, he redesigned them to basically fit the motif of what they symbolize. Zero, an angel. Death Scythe, the Reaper. Uh, Nataku, aka Ultron. Dragon. Heavy Arms. Walking Fortress. And Sandrock, a Sheik. Or
uh,
basically somebody, or Middle Eastern.
and also a fun fact about the Burning Gundam. I will say this: honestly, I didn't mind the name change originally because I figured it's just I felt it was just silly as a name change. But that's just only because I don't buy heavily into that type of things. But as of lately, the only reason why I also like the name change, I feel like it actually fits now since as of every Gundam game that, well, Burning has been in recently, it does indeed attack with flames for some of his attacks, so it fits.
Well,
It,
and
I
and
I
mean,
heard
to
the
give
East is
you
burning red.
yeah, but
well,
on that note, though, and I know this is definitely an old topic, but on that note, though, why the fuck is Lightning Gundam? Why the fuck does Lightning Gundam not have the ability to shoot lightning and build fighters? Like seriously,
exactly.
give that suit a Tesla gun. Give that suit a Tesla gun. I
But
want it to be make
well,
sense.
I can say the reason why I call it Lightning Gundam is because of its high mobility.
Yeah, but that's the thing. There's so many other euphemisms they could use for speed.
but
Mach Sonic. Although
yeah, but what
arguably,
sounds more badass than Lightning Gundam though?
But
it
let me
it
just
don't I
to
don't
go
care.
back
At
as
that point, I
well.
want it to have a literal naming sense.
But
Well,
no. Oh wait, sorry.
sorry. To go back to the Burning Gundam a little bit, some people don't realize that the Burning Gundam and Shining Gundam are based off of two Shinto deities.
Here comes the explanation, everyone. So pay attention.
Uh, okay, if you pay attention to those rings on the back of Burning Gundam, that's actually Amaterasu, the sun goddess, in
Yeah.
Shintoism. But if you look at Shining Gundam, that's Susanoo, Lord of Storms.
Yeah.
But sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say at least we had a more decent name change from them than we see in a lot of anime nowadays. Like look at Stans and JoJo's for Christ's sake. I mean they made they did some really stupid name changes just because of copyright.
Well, you do realize that here in the U.S., copyrights are more stricter than in
Oh, I
Japan.
know, but they could have come up with better names than what they did. I mean, hell, they changed one of the Stans' names was Limp Biscuit. They named it the Flaccid Pancake.
Well, okay, you do have to admit though that name change does make for a very funny joke.
Oh, it does, but again, there's other ones that were just really bad. Like Spice Girl was changed to Spicy Lady, which just sounds stupid in the dub.
Then they had to change. I heard.
Change Sticky Fingers to Zipper Man.
Okay, that one made no sense, but the spicy lady, I mean, arguably that one still is technically it's not
It's
too
a good
far off the
it's a
mark.
good name. It just sounds really dumb in the dub. Like if you listen to the dub, it just sounds really dumb.
That's that on that part is just the fault of the dubber themselves.
Well, and
It's more,
plus, this is just my opinion. I'd say it depend. Look, it depends on your taste. If you want to watch the original, that's up to you. If you want to wait around and listen to the dub, and you got some idiot slipping in some shit he shouldn't in, But I understand that's. Look, I'm not going to go back to this topic, but I'm going to a little bit. Dubbing houses, stay out of fucking politics.
You mean keep politics out of dubbing,
Yep.
Yeah,
out of
exactly.
entertainment in general.
And by the way, just so I don't piss off any JoJo's fans, not to say that there isn't any good name changes. Like I don't mind Killer Queen being changed to Deadly Queen, and simple changes like that. But there are some ridiculous changes.
Like, I really want to hear, or how do I put this? I had a really, really dumb idea for a JoJo character. I was half asleep. I thought I was asleep, but I was only half asleep. And I came up with this idea about a character, I don't know whose stand is named after Dragon Force. And his first and act, it has like different acts. Like Act 1, Inhuman Rampage.
That's a good one. Do you know the one stupidest name stand that I don't think got a dumb change?
What?
It's Soft and Wet.
Actually,
It's such a stupid name, but it's such an overpowered stand. It produces bubbles to where if it pops on you, the user can steal from whatever they pop on. And not just physical things, but abstract things. Like they can steal your eyesight or your friction.
damn. Well, there was a D&D story about somebody had made a JoJo's Bizarre Adventure campaign, and the main boss, they had no idea. They were wondering what the fuck was going on with this weird ass train, and it turns out the DM, you know, when they said roll for initiative, the DM grabbed his laptop, pressed play, and all of a sudden you heard Ozzy Osbourne going, "All aboard!" Ha ha! It turns out the boss was the train, and the stand's name was Crazy Train.
I don't know if you guys watched Team 4-Star, but they did a D&D thing, and their DM Zito made a character that was a complete JoJo reference. It was a woman who ran a bazaar simply called JoJo's Bazaar, and every time she had to think of something, she just did a ridiculous pose.
Oh God.
Yeah.
That's great. But yeah, the funny thing about that D&D story was one of the how do I put this? The 3 player characters, only one of them could use his stand in combination with Hamon. And I believe that was the one whose stand, I can't remember its fucking name.
Oh, was it a Herbert Purple, you mean?
No, these were player characters that were based off.
Well, about to say, if you're trying to think of like what the stand in the actual show could do, that's Herbert
No,
Purple.
this was a D&D campaign. This was a D&D campaign that was JoJo themed.
Those sound fun.
Yeah. Well, anyway, the guy's stand could only allow him to sharpen or dull any object that he was holding. And there was a story, apparently earlier on in the game, in several sessions beforehand, this character had stabbed and gutted a guy with a slice of bread.
With a piece of bread.
Literally a slice of bread.
Okay, I can understand sharpening bread, but would it still be impossible to cut because it's too limp?
I don't know.
Because it says it sharpens it, it doesn't say it stiffs it.
It
At
doesn't.
that point, you just have a rubbery knife.
You know, it could be as sharp as a fucking scalpel.
Unless he's just throwing it like a throwing star.
I don't want to know because this is D&D. But it uses all the mechanics of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, so yeah. Anyway, another player character's stand was called I Think I Can.
I think I can.
Yeah, and basically what it could do is it could randomly generate an item, and there was a chart based on what the person rolled. It was like a D100 with a fucking chart. For those of you that are not tabletop inclined, a D100 is a 100-sided die.
Oh, sorry, I just got reminded of something real quick. I forgot to say, sorry about last night, Blackwing.
It's fine, man. It's just shit.
I was having, or could tell you, I sent a message, I was having a really bad day yesterday.
Yeah, you did, but it's alright, man. Just
Shit. Oh my god, the comms are going really grenade heavy for some reason.
well, anyway, it's just. Let me put. Okay, and here's a thing. Sony, quit being such a fucking xenophobe when it comes to your anime game selection. Developers can go somewhere else.
It's mostly a group decision based on shareholders.
True.
You gotta
Yeah,
remember.
a lot of shareholders ruin these kind of games, though.
You have to understand this about business, okay?
Yeah.
The company, the company doesn't care about you, the customer, the consumer. You do not pay their salaries. Your money goes into their shareholders' bank accounts, who in turn pay them to keep the lights on. Once you know whose arm to twist, then the company will do what they tell you, or what you tell them, sorry. That's just the way business, basically a public business, or just simply a business that has public shareholders, like EA, and Activision and whatnot. These companies have shareholders, which means they have a group of people that tell the company what to do and also tell them they have a deadline. Otherwise, they will pull their funding and will take their money and go somewhere else with it. So that is what you're dealing with. You're not dealing with the company. You're dealing with the shareholders that are literally holding the company's money or paychecks hostage.
Yep.
So,
By the way, Orb, if you want me to join you for a match, I will. I still have to do my dailies.
Let's see. Here's another one.
Oh crap!
If you guys had any choice to design your dream game, what it would be?
An actually good Gundam game for all consoles.
well, in all honesty, good luck with that. Because I had an idea for a Gundam game that was basically going to be Breaker with multiplayer, but the multiplayer would be similar to Titanfall.
That would be awesome. But no, I just wish we get a Gundam game on Xbox in general, or at least other consoles, because I'm tired of this being console exclusive. I have friends I want to play Gundam games with, but they don't have a PlayStation.
Mm-hmm. Well, I hear your pain there, but in all honesty, it comes down to this: who's paying Bandai to keep their, or who's paying or a company's loyalty. A company's loyalty basically only lasts as long as you pay them.
Well, like I
That's
can
the sad
understand
truth.
if we don't get games like Battle Operation or anything over on Xbox, but I don't see why we can't get any versus games. I mean, fighting games usually do really well on Xbox.
That is true because of a younger demographic.
And
Yeah,
because and not to mention, PlayStation is basically the old generation.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
yeah, it would make
seriously.
more sense for it to release at least the fighting Gundam games on the Xbox. I mean,
Well,
the last Gundam game they ever released on Xbox was the Dynasty Warriors games.
Mm-hmm.
but you also gotta agree there, bud. If you look at this from a standpoint, what's more easier, asking a locally owned business, a locally owned company in Japan to do it, or an overseas that would just basically nerf it, would just censor the shit out of it?
Mm-hmm.
Which I have a problem with Sony America, which they do the shit out of it with certain anime games. Which, okay, yeah, I understand you don't want people to see it, but come on, guys. If it's a freaking beach scene and you're trying to cover up for cleavage, come on, dude. That's
I
not
mean,
fucking.
look at Yu-Gi-Oh.
Mm-hmm.
That's the
Uh,
best example of censorship. I feel bad for censor Yu-Gi-Oh because the amount of cards they have to censor that has to suck.
Mm-hmm. Well,
well,
that's mostly because of Puritans and whatnot, because people cannot keep religion and politics out of entertainment.
Like, I can understand that kind of stuff, but like the amount of cleavage censoring going on in the cards is ridiculous.
I mean, seriously, yeah, I have a friend that actually has a Japanese dark magician girl. Whew, boy.
There's a couple Yu-Gi-Oh cards we'll never get over here in America because of how the art is. The creator of Yu-Gi-Oh refuses to censor them, so they're never going to be released over here.
Mm-hmm.
And one of them is the fusion of the three Egyptian god cards.
That one, as well as a special version of the Dark Magician Girl,
Mm-hmm.
and that one Exceeds variant of the Dark Magician Girl. I can't remember what it was called.
Magi girl.
Yeah, because it used a special art that the creator did for the anniversary or some kind of event. I can't
Yeah,
remember.
he didn't want to censor it because it was a thing that he did,
Yeah.
and when Konami USA wanted to get their hands on the card, they said no, we need to heavily censor it, and Kazuki said no.
Well,
No, or do you want me to join you for a match, man?
Censoring,
sure.
like,
Uh,
seriously, this whole censorship stuff just kind of needs to stop because,
I'll let you host, by the way, because I don't know which one you want to do.
quite frankly, enough's enough with this stuff. If people are so offended, like, people are getting offended by the fact that other people breathe and exist. If you can't tolerate another person's existence, then quite frankly, I'm going to be honest here. You need to do the world a favor and take your bullshit and go far, far away from this plane of existence. Whatever method
Well,
you use to complete that mission of yours is up to you. I don't care.
well, I
I
remember
mean, what?
watching. I used to watch Guy in Jigimba when he was still with Game Theorists,
Mm-hmm.
but he did a series called Censorship and the Reason Why. Yeah, because they do change stuff here and there just to make sure that it's okay with the code of conduct over in that area. But look,
Like,
Nintendo tried it for years, and it constantly get people getting pissed at them.
Wait, try.
yeah,
Wait, tried
the,
what?
the, wait, who are you talking to?
No, I was talking to Blackwing. Tried what again?
Nintendo tried to censorship everything that came out.
Oh yeah, that's right. By the way, that's another thing as of recently, or maybe not super recently, considering the releases for Smash lately have been stuff like Min Min from ARMS and Dragon Quest Hero, I guess. No, something very interesting came up in the topic of discussion when a known fighter from the King of Fighters was released, Terry Bogard. The reason why this got people excited is because there was all sorts of cameos from the KOF characters, and it got people thinking, was we going to get another certain SNK character as a rep for Fatal Fury, not just for King of Fighters? Unfortunately, no, because to quote Big Daddy Sakurai, because Smash is for good little boys and girls.
Yeah,
Which
that's true.
I call absolute bullshit, Sakurai. Because if that was the case, then why do you have somebody who
Have,
literally has an
have,
outfit
have,
made out of hair?
has he seen his own Smash tournaments?
He can't. He's dead.
I got my comment got overshadowed a little bit right there, so I'm just gonna say this again.
Sorry.
That's just bold because if that was the case, Sakurai, then why do you have a Umbra Witch whose outfit is made out of her own hair? How is that any different than my Shiranui?
Why does Nintendo own her and never censored her in her own game when they made the sequel?
That's another thing. Like at that point, it's just yeah. We were talking about being hypocrites again. That apparently is in full effect with him. But then again,
Anyway.
we should have known this from the start, considering the opening scene for the World of Light literally has everybody dying in a Thanos-like maneuver, except for guess what, Kirby.
Yep, because Kirby is his little child. By the way, Orby, gonna invite me?
But
I was
Jared, do you
really
have your
hoping you
two
would have got
cents on
them done
that?
earlier, but let's go
No,
ahead.
I don't.
I won't be mad or anything. I promise. If I do, I'll mute myself until I calm down. By the way, if you can hear Blackwing, I can't.
It's I got my headset turned up as loud as I can. It's just
Oh, never mind. Never mind. Because I heard him say something about you asking him something. I never heard you ask him, and so I was like,
I
well, I
asked
can't hear what the hell.
Jared, is there anything he wanted to talk, anything he wanted to say anything about?
But
I'm
no,
sorry.
I'm currently waiting on food, so that's all I'm thinking about is I'm hungry.
but yeah, you was even saying something about like Sony being a bunch of xenophobes earlier. I mean, Blackwing. I'm just going to say this. I have definitely noticed this because a well-known game that I like playing, and I will fully admit I played it since the 3DS days, Senran Kagura. Burst Renewal was a recent release for them on the PS4, but get this, they removed certain functions in the character gallery because apparently it was considered too lewd, but yet for the Steam version you can do whatever you want because apparently it's Steam and it's on PC.
Well,
Well, Steam has a policy to where there's just no censorship, or sorry, um, the Steam community, as well as Steam, does not have to answer to committees.
And
Valve
that's
is a privately owned company.
and all I want to say on that note is, and people wonder why a lot of, well, people favor Steam.
Jared, would you elaborate on that?
Yeah, I'll elaborate. Basically, the difference between EA and Valve is that Valve is privately owned. It only has one person in charge of the company. The guy that founded the company is the guy that's running it, and literally he refuses to make the company go public, which means they don't have to answer to any regulatory,
There it is.
committees or anything.
Which again, I'm
Since
just, sorry, go ahead.
which when you to legal, to terms and services and whatnot, which means basically,
Hello.
as long as as long as Steam exists, they don't have to. They don't have to do anything. They can set when Steam. Sorry, when other companies try to pressure Valve, and this has been happening over the past few years, other companies have been flat out telling and threatening them that they will, um, pull their games off their stuff or off their marketplace. And Steam holds this little factoid over their head. You try to do anything you try to threaten us in any way, we will pull your game not off of our stores, and you will lose out on so much money because it has been proven they don't have to release their their
Tax, tax
their
papers.
their tax figures and finance records and shit. But basically, over the past several years, the stuff that they have released shows that they make more money in 1 month than the Vatican does in a year.
Jeez.
Actually, I'm wrong there. They make more money in 1 day than the Vatican does in a year. So they make more money
Again,
than God.
jeez.
Yeah. Like, that's a lot of money.
Yes.
And yet they can't give us a sequel to games like Half-Life 2 or Left 4 Dead.
Because they don't care. Well, they technically are trying to. At the same time, Valve is a company that kind of... I'm going to be honest with you, there was a leak years and years ago where some kids they won a contest and got to tour Valve headquarters and whatnot, and somebody snuck a phone picture of some testing, of some test PCs and whatnot with some test games on them. One of them was Left 4 Dead 3. And basically, Valve admits that they spend so much time testing to make sure there's as little bugs as possible.
Then forget about it.
Yeah.
Mm.
Like, they've literally had so many games that they've been testing for years.
That they forget to release them.
Yes.
Because they want it perfect.
So, I mean, that's
I mean, that's not bad thinking. I mean, you just want to make sure your game has no issues.
Oh,
I mean, if anything, that's really good thinking. That's what we need more from a lot of game companies
speaking
nowadays.
of which,
Especially EA.
well, and also here's the thing: if you guys don't want to worry about the censorship, all you have to do is pay like $2 or something. You'll get the uncut version.
oh yeah. Basically, even if it does get censored, the developers get to put a free patch in anyway, or sorry, a free DLC that uncensors the game anyway. Why do you think so many porn games get on Steam?
Again, I said it before earlier. I'm just going to say it again. And you people wonder why Steam is so popular.
I mean, look at Honey Pop. I mean, the version on Steam might be censored, but apparently you can edit the files to uncensor it.
Uh-huh.
I mean, granted, for the most part, I feel like the only drawback to playing stuff on Steam is, well, if you have a good enough computer to handle it, but
That's about it.
That's honestly just a small potato because these days, people, even with, even with budget builds, people can run some pretty decent games on their computers.
Well, because they're constantly updating and building their computers.
Yeah. Certain games won't work though. Like my computer, my computer. Even though it's a really good computer, it still even lags with some games like Minecraft every now and then.
Well, that's because Minecraft is a really big game.
Yeah.
But anyway, but here's the thing as well. You'll find more anime games than anything on freaking Steam.
Mm-hmm.
That's the reason why during during this March when they released Gundam, when they released the Gundam
What's the matter? Got a brain fart?
Okay, it was Gun Crosswave. Or Cross... Not Crosswave. Crossrays. When they announced Crossrays, it would be on the Steam because it would be... Because one, the developer didn't have to worry about the censorship over on the computer.
Yeah. Not that there's much to censor in Crossrays for the most part anyway.
Actually, there is.
Ow.
I didn't
I
say
have
there
no
wasn't,
idea
I
how
said
I
there just
died.
wasn't much. Because I'm just going to go ahead and get the elephant out the room. As a Seed fan, I find it kind of interesting that a certain character, both for console and Steam, got toned down, and we all know who she is.
Ramius?
Yep.
Or Mir Campbell?
You know what? I want to say both, but technically Maru because Mir's more of a crew character, in my opinion. Like, that's the thing. We don't get to see our bouncy captain in all of her glory, and honestly...
Well, that's
The
the thing.
jiggles.
That's the thing anyway, because more people get bent out of shape over boobs and butts than they do over about bombs and bullets.
Which,
And-
again is kind of
Oh,
ironic.
he's effed.
And to be honest, that comes down to basically desensitization, or sorry,
Decent.
people being desensitized.
I have a GPO 4.
That and oh god, don't even get me started on the fucking Puritans. Just conservatives in general, or Puritans, people that get so bent out of shape over another person's body. The human body is the human body, okay? If you're getting bent out of shape over somebody's figure, that means you are jealous of something the other person has that you don't.
That which is just basic insecurity, and it's really petty.
Oh yeah, it means Karen, you need to lay off the fucking Twinkies and get on a fucking treadmill.
Or better yet, quit
It's-
asking for your fucking manager every fucking 5 minutes.
Oh, it's like that one YouTuber who tried to shame fat people and not. I'm sure that YouTuber or streamer, but she got a lot of backlash for it.
She tried to shame fat people. In
Yeah,
all
I'm trying
honesty, I'm kind of agreeing with Gabriel Iglesias that there's levels of fat.
There's
and-
big, healthy, husky, fluffy, and giant.
Don't forget dinosaur.
Yeah, but then there's also, oh hell no!
Oh hell no!
Oh hell no!
And you just see oh hell no coming through the freaking did it over. Oh hell no! 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 No!
Yeah, seriously, but yeah, there are. Since I'm from Florida, I can say this beyond the shadow of a doubt. I can say this that I can actually say this one comment here because I've seen it personally with my own eyes, and I have a witness. My father. We were driving to a grocery store. We passed a KFC. I saw. Both my father and I saw a guy that was so morbidly obese. He was in one of those mobility scooters with a little handbasket in front of the handlebars. His stomach went over his knees.
I got the Zeta gun all on me.
and was
Help.
actually muffin topping and going, you know, when your stomach and your
I'm dead.
nipples, when your nipples are touching your kneecaps, you need to lay off the Twinkies. And this guy was on his way to KFC.
Or I just saw you get it.
And this look, my dad and I both looked at this guy for a second, and the only thing that went through my mind was, "Nani?" That's when,
Jesus.
because when your nipples are touching your kneecaps,
Okay, can someone kill that Zeta Gundam because he's being a real pest.
like seriously, when you're so fat that your nipples are touching your kneecaps when you sit down, you might as well stay home and go for the record, or starve yourself. Because, quite frankly, when you're that fat, you could actually survive a whole fucking year, a whole 365 days, without ever eating.
Sorry, Orb, I think I hit you.
Yeah.
They swarmed the hell out of me when I became the target. I did not think I was doing that well.
Honestly thought that was going to be a good match, but clearly not.
Clearly, they were sore losers. I saw a lot of swarming.
That Zeta was the biggest nuisance, though, because he kept stunning and using his long beam saber.
Yeah.
Sorry for interrupting the topic. Sorry about that.
Well, we're in nerdy talk right now, so it's not really an interruption. If anything, you're
This
just
dude-
adding.
I also want to point out real quick, this suit is really good. It's just not good for open maps. It's better for closed-in maps. Open maps, this thing's just the R-Charger just gets targeted way too much.
Even though I
Alright.
just mentioned,
Let's try this.
even though I just mentioned or talked about how me and my dad saw a dude that was so morbidly obese, his nipples were hanging over his kneecaps.
Oh, wait for this. Wait. What the hell? Did I just hear? That's definitely something to hear out of nowhere.
You really
Someone's-
didn't hear me that entire fucking match.
No, I heard the entire match, but that last one came out of nowhere.
Like,
I was waiting on
You to go, what the fuck kind of Florida man shit did I just hear?
Well, we were really focused. We were target shuffling. They were swarming us a lot when it was
But what do you think of that? You know, a guy that was so fat and his nipples were literally hanging over his
Oh, that
knees.
dude has some kind of skin issue. Is what I gotta say.
No, he was that fucking fat.
How the hell does your boobs go? Your nipples go that far down your body?
When he was sitting down in his little fucking mobility scooter on his way to KFC.
I mean, I'm fat, and I fucking not like that. Jeez.
Dude, like fucking, I'm beyond muffin top now to where it's pretty much a spare tire.
Pretty much a spare tire. I don't know how much I weigh. Unfortunately, no scales. No, at least no regular. My doctor only doesn't have a digital scale, and the scale only goes up to 350. And the last time I weighed myself was on a digital scale, and it said I was over 400 pounds, and I don't know how much I weigh now.
I only weigh around 230. I float between 230 and 240.
Yeah, trying to get a thing that can weigh me, but unfortunately we can't find scales that weigh over that measure over 400 pounds for some reason. They all stop at 400.
Well, that's because if you're going to weigh over that much at that point, you have a problem.
You want to hear something really fucked up?
What?
Besides that fart.
Let's see how far they roll downhill.
Oh god, that fart.
God. You're still on the fart when you just said that?
Well, because the smell just hit me.
You don't really get a lot of people in your streams, do you, Orb?
Hmm?
So I'm
No, he
still like,
doesn't.
I still check on the stream. I'm checking on the stream in between matches.
Yeah.
So what? We got nobody. Nobody.
Nope. I was the only one who said something.
Well, we got two people,
And that was just to
but
get
I
into the
don't know
party.
who's. We got two people. I don't know who's watching.
I think one of them is me, since again I've been checking in and out at the end of each match. But so far, I'm the only one who's commented. See, I might be called Ace Vengeance 1 on here, but at least on YouTube I stay the straight up just Ace Vengeance without a number.
Nice. There's my porno device.
What?
AKA his phone.
Yes.
I was about to say, what the hell?
It's an inside joke.
Wow, there's there's 4 people watching the stream now? Okay, nice.
I have a funny inside joke to tell. Have any of you guys ever played Monster Hunter World?
Does it involve, does this story involve spicy dick milk?
No, but what the fuck? No, this one inside joke, it's the only inside joke we have.
Kill Ace, there's another inside joke. Says Panzerfaust. I don't know who you are, Panzerfaust, but he's on my team. I can't. Wait, what? I can't.
I think he might have been the last game if he's trying to say kill me, because I did fuck up a couple people in the last game.
Well, all I will say is if you was indeed in our last match, don't be a dick. Don't be a dick, man.
Don't be a dick.
Ace should know who I am. Wait a second. Wait a second. Silver,
Hold up.
Silver, is that
God
you?
damn it! Is that you, Silver?
Silver, I swear, if that's you.
See if he's on. Someone see if he's on. Check and see. I'm checking to see if he's on.
That's him.
Oh, wait for the room to start.
Yeah, it's him. It's
to.
him. He confirmed. He confirmed it.
Someone
Also-
Blackwing, can you invite him to the party?
Also, Silver, what the hell, man?
Invite someone to the party, Blackwing, if you can.
Seriously, kill Ace. There's another inside joke.
Oh, you remember back when we first started? No, remember when we started playing this game because I was always the Ace. He would always say "kill Ace." Back when we first started.
Oh.
Back when I first started, at least.
Oh, so that was. Oh, so that
That's
was.
an inside joke.
Also,
That actually is an inside joke.
Also, that was okay. So that wasn't just. So that
Yeah.
wasn't.
But my inside joke involves Monster Hunter World.
Okay.
To me, one of my friends named. If you guys know what a Palico is, a Monster Hunter. One of my friends named his Palico Pocket. And for some reason, whenever we do a mission together, the monsters would always target his Palico. And one day I just laughed my ass off and said, "Man, they really want that pocket meat." Just died laughing. It was just like, it's the perfect snack. Pocket meat.
For whatever
Anyway,
reason, you just
anyway,
reminded me of Bunta from Gurren Lagann.
That's mole meat, though.
Well, whatever the fuck Bunta is, I mean, seriously, best supporting character ever.
It's random. Hey, by the way, hey, Silver.
No, like, greatest character ever. He lopped up his own
Fuck
ass
you.
for his friends.
You haven't said that in forever, Silver.
We haven't been in a nice match.
You want to join us, by the way, after this?
And for a few.
What?
Alright.
No, I agree to help you out, but after this, I'm going to Maxi Boost.
Oh, really?
Well, you can't live stream Maxi Boost, remember?
Yeah, I know.
And plus, I
feel like this is. I feel
Plus,
like
I still got.
dude. I feel like.
Plus, I still got one more match anyway, so you can at least join us for that one.
Dude, I feel like around 2 hours is kind of a long time for a real talk session. Seriously, I ain't trying to be Nick Rekieta here.
Well, I'm just saying, I still got one match, so we can at least join it. One more match, so you can at least join us for that one. Oh shit. Anyway, back to.
2 hours, and since you've already opted out, I'm going with my Japanese friend again.
Well, I can't. It's not that I opted out. I have to work.
Mm-hmm.
But that ain't happening. But yeah. So, everyone want to do branch battles when we go over?
Yeah, I need to do too.
I mean, I wouldn't object to doing that, but if we do branch battles, though, Ace, I'm going to want to do it with a specific goal in mind this time.
What's our goal? I'll support it.
We are going to try to hit 600k in terms of points.
You did. I thought you said you didn't want to do that.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
I lied.
Okay, we'll do our damnedest. I'll
Because I'll be honest. Now that I've already got all the routes unlocked, I'm kind of curious to see what the secret boss fight is like.
What is that was shooting at me? Is that a bishop or a? I can't tell. They have a high Zach. Oh, it's a bishop. That's what was shooting at me.
Also, of course, nobody respects the Blue Destiny Unit 2. Screw you and your Jim Cannon too. But anyways, let's see. As far as other topics, well, okay, this is a one on a brighter note, but for those that's fans of Gundam and love Gunpla, well, even though they can't get it, just thought to let you know. There was actually a $1,000 kit that was released recently. It was basically released recently, and it was another Grandpa Gundam kit, but this one was made out of Gundanium. I mean Gundarium. Sorry.
It was basically just a metal kit.
And honestly, I will say I do not envy the person that does try to go for that kit, because honestly, if you have that much money, I feel like you ought to be working on other stuff.
I got lucky today. I went back to my hobby shop because he just got new models in. I got lucky. He had a Master Grade 2.0 Gundam. I put it on hold. I've been looking for a Master Grade for the Granddaddy, and I found one.
Well, that's good news.
Oh, hell yeah.
Anyway, Orb, if you don't remember the inside joke about Kill Ace,
Hey, Orb, help.
it's when we were first playing, when I first started
I don't
playing
have
with
a
Ace,
stun weapon.
during Ace matches, 9 out of 10 times he became the Ace.
Oh, yeah, no, it was a lot. It was pretty much guaranteed back when we first started for some reason. I don't know why.
I seem to have strayed a little far.
I don't think you strayed too far. I think we just got separated because of deaf. Because deaf. Anyway, any more serious topics to bring up before the stream ends?
Well, honestly, outside of the COVID situation...
Besides jackass social justice warriors.
Well, that's a topic I don't think we're ever going to... I don't think we can ever find a definitive answer for that, because it's like, there's just always going to be entitled women in the world somewhere.
It's not just women, it's just assholes who think they're social justice warriors.
Yeah,
no, I say
women,
women because for the most part, I don't see dudes having a problem with
Oh, there's
topics
plenty
like
of
that.
dudes.
There's plenty of entitled.
There's more social justice warrior dudes than there are women. Surprisingly,
I find
most
that
of them are just
I
assholes.
find that hard to believe. I find that hard.
Trust
to believe.
me. Trust me.
It's true, because they're usually entitled snowflakes who are jackasses.
By the way, as soon as you said it,
Oh, fuck me! I'm hiding! I'm hiding until a low helper is available or until my machine gun is
All
recharged.
the reasons
Also-
for the inside joke.
Exactly. Shit. I'll wait for my team to respawn before I try any stupid maneuvers. Mainly because Orb's about to die.
Really?
I saw that!
Man,
They rushed you, didn't they?
that stupid bishop. I mean, why was he attacking me? I was a raid type.
Because you were low health? Probably. Ooh. I'm retreating until you guys respawn, because
I mean, that's just being a scum. That's just being scum at that point. I mean, why would you resort to being a buzzard? You're not a bird in the sky looking for meat. Seriously.
Oh.
And you
Should
know
have
what?
left you for the ace.
Alright, got up. I was just trying to help the ace out. There it is. Oh.
No. Get up, Bishop.
Hey,
Get up, Bishop.
they have another pair rider that's aiming for me.
Don't care. Going after the Bishop right now because I need to spank his ass.
Going after Isaac. Haha! Again, I know this thing only has one shot, but that one shot is broken.
Now then, I hope you'll think about what you did, mister.
Oh, they got me. Oh well. Focus on their race. Don't let them get a foothold. Oh, I just see you guys massacring their ace. Oh my god. It's a bloodbath.
Yeah, it should be one, but he is the ace, so.
It's a madhouse.
Really?
A madhouse.
Granted, I should say I'm watching the stream while I'm waiting to join the next match. So I'm about, what, 5 seconds behind? 6?
Something
Well,
like that.
enemy ace is dead.
I can tell you if I was actually listening to it. Got too much crossfire interference.
Oh, one of my teammates shot me. Get up.
Well, we won anyways, so at least you got your
Yep.
win. Don't know if you got
Except
your...
my teammate downed me and shot me in the back again. What the hell, dude?
Don't know if you got your double kills.
I did. I definitely did. There's no way I didn't. I just need one more match and then we're done. There's the score.
Wait, who
I
tied?
think that's an appropriate score. Who did tie? Oh,
I know,
jeez,
well,
there were
not
free.
me.
There were free supports. I noticed that. I thought there was only 2. I didn't see the second. I didn't see the second Jim Cannon. Their ace came in 8th place. All right, let's do this again and pick up silver for the last one. Then we go on to attempting to do also because clan missions, but in attempting to do a 6. How many points do we need to silver?
I don't know. I've got most of the extra scenes on Branch Battle already unlocked.
Is that... Well, I didn't mean to say silver. I meant to say orb. Sorry. How many points did he say we needed, orb? Well, wait, I'm just waiting for the invites.
Yeah, only reason I'm doing 400 is because I don't feel like doing 250, and that derelict battle was honestly just crap.
Yeah, that
derelict battle made me want to not do Dark Shuffles again. Trust me, I'm with you on that one.
I mean, I figure it's... I'm just going to say it. I feel officially at this point in the series, 400 is a safe cost.
It really is. 500 is just hell. 500 up is just hell with how many suits there are on that cost now.
And 350
But,
and lower is bullcrap.
Silver, real quick. I know the Gata C only has 1 charge shot for its beam rifle, but damn, that damage though.
Damage is good, but then you're vulnerable.
Unless you like me and use it as a hit and run suit, which is really what the suit is meant to be, a hit and run suit.
Yeah, because goodness knows against the swarmers, that's pretty much your bane.
I mean, to be fair, that actually does. Hit and run really does help somewhat. As long as they don't knock me out of my transformation, that is. We're all in here, by the way. You can get us. You can.
I know. I was equipping my parts.
Equipping parts. I need to put my phone back on the charger because I gotta set a timer. Cause work sucks.
Also, not a bad loadout.
I like how we're the only ones talking now. Anyone else want to say something instead of staying silent?
Well, unfortunately, we kind of exhausted a lot of our topics because otherwise this would just be like a normal chat session, and this wasn't the intended thing for that. Not today. So I'm
Hey,
going
at least
to
you
say,
got interest. At least the chat got interesting.
So I'm going to say on that note, well, this is Real Talk with Phoenix Core. So I'll see you next time, everyone.
With some random guests.